What is up? All right, it's Unk here for the first YouTube video. Let's mark it. I wanted to post the worst game I've ever had as my first YouTube video as just proof that you can only get better, I guess. I don't know, whatever cope we want to go with. But basically, I played in a virtual tournament recently. It was my first virtual tournament since learning how to play One Piece in November 2025. So OP12 is when I started. So very new. This is the first tournament I felt kind of comfortable with. And the first tournament where I felt like I needed to get some sort of competitive play in with Emu before it kind of rotates out of meta. We're going to see how that works out. But this game basically is the first round of a tournament. Now, there's a funny story to this tournament, but basically we're going to jump into the gameplay. The funny story is I thought this was a single elimination tournament, so I basically played this game, thought I was basically out, and didn't even check and follow up or do anything like a dumbass. And basically, I had 3 more rounds I could have played. So that was my fault. Again, probably some pre-tournament nerves. I was really looking forward to this. I was really looking forward to kind of recapping this kind of game information and this tournament review, but was really disappointed I didn't get to play any games. And turns out I should have just stayed and paid attention because I could have played 3 more games. Always read the cards. Always read the fine print, guys. Come on. So that was my first lesson. Let's jump into this because this was my second lesson. Even though a new meta comes out, you got to practice the mirror match, guys. That's exactly what I ran into right here. I played Steve. You know, Steve is cool. I like Steve. He's on, he follows me on Twitter. Very cool guy. Yeah. I'm gonna basically clickbait the thumbnail on this, but he basically was really great sport about it. Really helped me out. Actually gave me a lot of advice. We haven't played another game after this because you'll see he kind of whooped me in like it was like 14 minutes to be honest with you. So we're gonna watch this. Basically, it's a mirror match, something I didn't practice a lot of, and I think I go first. But we're gonna let's jump into it real quick. Yeah, so I do go first because he chose the order. Okay. I was wondering if it was going to tell me if I go first or not. I have to mulligan first. All right, so we're going to mulligan. Let's go back here real quick. Let's go back here. So, going first, obviously, we got to do the Holy Land. Now here, real quick, this was the starting hand. To be honest, not a terrible starting hand. The part that I forgot was I go first. That was the part that I forgot on this, right? So the Saturn was less useful, to be honest with you. I like playing the Saturn the second turn when I go first or when I go second. Obviously that wasn't the case this time. Got to prepare for that. But this was not the optimal hand for going first. I did like the Searcher, but as you'll see later, I did run into an issue where I didn't have enough trash, and that was kind of a downfall for the 6 or 7 Dawn turn or something. So yeah, didn't get a chance to mill the trash very hard. Didn't see a Shalria. So this is the hand. I, in hindsight, probably would have mulliganed this hand again, but it's like that meme where it's like you mulligan a 7 hand into an ass hand. It's like, I don't really know, right? This hand seems like it has everything, but I think the context of going first and the mirror matchup kind of changed this hand a little bit. But yeah, still had the 2 Shirahoshis, the 2K. So we're going to jump into this. I don't think I mulligan this. Yeah, I keep this. All right, I'm going to keep this. I don't know why I'm kind of debating this. Okay, so I'm going first, okay? So first, we're dropping our Searcher. This is easy. Now, when I play Emu, I try in these situations, I'll always take the 2K over the Elders because the quicker I can dump them into the trash, the less I have to deal with who's in the trash. It's kind of like a side quest, but I definitely pay attention to this early game because these 6 and 7s are not worth it. Jupiter and Nezero right now, especially with the mirror matchup and not having the like empty throne 3 Dawn, the Nezero and the Jupiter are so expensive right now. So it's actually not worth it in this matchup. So I said, okay, let me get them in the trash real quick. We'll drop them in the trash, grab the Mozguard, and then just end turn there. 2 Dawn. He saw Shaoria. Ditches the Garp card. Ditches the empty throne. Ditches Shaoria for another card. He's at 5 in trash right now. I have 1 in trash, I think, at this point. Pull a Jupiter. 3 Dawn. Okay, so this part real quick. 3 Dawn. I think this is where I start to realize that this mirror matchup is something I really did not practice for. I genuinely normally have an Emu, like my Emu muscle memory has been getting really good, and it sucks because I saw this mirror matchup right away and I went, I did not practice the mirror enough, right? So what do I do the second turn? Let's jump into this real quick because I think this is a mistake turn that I'm probably going to break down. Yeah, huge mistake turn here. Okay. So what do we do? Hold on. All right. I already know this was a huge mistake turn. Let's just break it down real quick. So first, we played the Shirahoshi. Why did I do that? Why did I play the Shirahoshi? Well, in my brain, I thought this game was going to go a little later. And then I also thought, hey, he's a smart player. He'll realize what this Shirahoshi is going to help me do in the later game. And I can kind of use it as a pseudo blocker until the Elder Cycle. Okay? That was kind of the thought process here, the live thought process. Why this was a terrible idea was, honestly, it was better as a 2K in my hand and keeping the Dawn. And the other thing is, I play this Shirahoshi first and do nothing with it. So I end up attaching Dawn to Emu and swinging when I really should have attached the Dawn first, swung, kept him guessing on what this Dawn was going to be used for. Let me see. Let me make sure I have my... Yeah. Okay. Hold on. We're going to unk it out right here. All right. So I should have attached this Dawn first. Why? Because then I have these 2 Dawn up that he goes, okay, what is he going to do with those 2 Dawn? Does he have Charlos? Does he, you know what I mean? Like there's options he could be thinking I have to do with those 2 Dawn right now. But because I've already given him the information of Shirahoshi is taking one of those Dawn first, that was one part of the sequence, the Shirahoshi with 1 Dawn, that could have waited until the end after the swing. But instead, I gave him free information without it actually needing to be sequenced like that. So that's kind of what I have here. Is I have it as a big blunder. Obviously, this the hand was a blunder. There's a lot of blunders in this game, but I think this one especially really got to me because I really didn't have a reason to play this Shirahoshi right now. Because Shirahoshi's effect can be activated on the same turn that you summon her. I could have played this later on in the game and still used the effect the way I wanted it to, and could have potentially still used it as a pseudo blocker on the same turn that I actually use the effect, right? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. This was kind of the start to the downhill momentum here, but let me see here. I don't think I have anything else to say about this part. I do think that what I could have done instead of the Shirahoshi was just bring the Shirahoshi Dawn to Emu and swing for 7, which would have forced 2 cards out of their hand. Would have forced 2 cards out of their hand, or it would have forced a bigger, like a 4K event. Or a 4K event, right? Bear with me here. And I think that would have been a better move early on. I don't know what he had early on, but I think that instead swinging for 7, not having Shirahoshi on the field, having the 1 up, because realistically, I don't have any blockers. There's no point in throwing out another Elders right now. I have 2K, I have 2K, I have 2K, I have 1K. I have 7K counter here, and then I have this one Garp spell, which I do not even think I can even activate. I don't think I have 10 in trash right here. So I have the one Garp spell, which is just 1K. So really I have 8K in my hand of counter, and there's no way that he on his next turn could even swing for more than that, basically. So I really, really should have just knocked the Shirahoshi out, not done that, swung for 7, kept the 1 up, and then had 8K in counter, basically, to go from there. Let's get back to it real quick. So I think I do this, swing. I also think, by the way, at some point during this turn, I tried to trash Shirahoshi because I realized it was a bad idea. And I realized that I cannot trash Shirahoshi with leader effect because I'm a dumbass. And that's just not how it works. Merfolk are not that. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's go back. So swing for 6. Okay. This is my turn 2. Swing for 6. He counters with a never existed. So even though I blundered right there, I still kind of got a never existed on a 6K, right? So which means he didn't have a 2K in his hand, and he didn't want to give me 2 cards. So again, that could have been a turn where I kind of was pushing back from the disadvantage. I blundered it, and I think that's like the blood in the water, basically. Steve smelled it, and from there it was all downhill, right? So from here, 5 cards in hand, 4 Dawn. He throws. Hold on. Oh, that was me checking his trash. That was me checking his trash real quick. We can go back to that. We're going to go back to that trash because I think that's important. So I think the reason why I checked his trash right here was because, yeah, I saw that he had, for some reason, I thought he had more than 1 never existed in his trash. And I was like, oh shoot, 1, am I already 2 never existed in by accident, right? Maybe he burned 1 by accident or whatever. So that's just something to pay attention to. You always want to pay attention to that as you're playing against an Emu, is tracking these big 4K spells, because we know kind of how many they run. If they burn them early and they don't Shirahoshi them back, then they're in the trash and trackable, right? So I think that's why I did that. 6 cards in trash he has right now. He swings for 5. And what am I doing here? I'm thinking, okay, 5. Do I give him the 2K? Do I give him the 1K? What do I do? I'm going to give him the Garp spell. 1K, boom. Go from there. He's got 4 Dawn up here. Trying to figure out what happens next. Hold on. This is playing real speed. Let me see if I can. I don't think I need to fast forward. This game was really quick. Shout out to Steve. Played it really quick. Okay, so yeah. So we're going Saturn. He's searching again. He pulls a Nejiro from the search and then passes, right? 1 Dawn up. I assume he has a 4K or a Ground Death. He doesn't have 10 cards in his trash. He probably doesn't have Ground Death. He probably has a never existed. He might have 10 cards in his trash, actually. No, because he had 6. He had 6 when I checked it at the end of that last turn. Okay. So we're jumping into my turn. This is a 5 Dawn turn here. Now, real quick here. On my 5 Dawn turn. I'm kind of a dumbass. I think I went to tap. Look at, yeah. I went to tap this stage. I click it thinking this is Empty Throne. This is how much I did not prepare for this mirror matchup. It's kind of crazy. Obviously going to work on that next time. So throw down the searcher. It's basically all I have, right? What am I searching for? I haven't seen a 5 Elders, to be honest with you, but I think at this point I'm a little lost on the mirror strategy, right? What am I trying to get to? I pull Mars. Obviously, one of the only options you probably could pull from that search, because you're pulling 5 Elders. This is where, right here, this is where this was such a dumb ass thing to do. Excuse my language. This is such a dumb thing to do. So I am thinking in this moment that I am going to trash Shirahoshi for, hold on. Like, I'm thinking in this moment, what's going to happen? Oh, okay. All right, whatever. I'm thinking in this moment, I'm thinking I'm going to trash Shirahoshi and then draw a card. That's what I thought, okay? But then I'm dumb. I'm super dumb. I was just caught up into it and was like, oh, I can't. It's not a Celestial Dragon. Can't trash anything that's not a Celestial Dragon. Boom. Okay, realize it. I already activated the effect. I could have canceled it there, and instead I ditched a Ground Death, okay? I think it's because I didn't have 10 cards in trash at this point. So what we're going through here, yeah, I have 5 cards in my trash right now. Total 5 cards. I have 5 Dawn and I have 5 cards in my trash. That's kind of where we're at in this game. 5 cards, 5 Dawn in trash. Emu Mirror. Obviously, we lose this one, right? So I basically just threw down Saturn this turn and then ended turn with 2 Dawn. Basically bluffing with those 2 Dawn. I didn't even attack, by the way. Can we mention real quick? Hold on, I paused it. We're going to go back. I didn't even swing with Emu. I have 2 Dawn. I have 0 reason to hold this Dawn up. And I didn't even attempt to swing or anything. Right? Just wow. Okay. We're going to move forward. Here. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So now Steve realizes I'm dumb and I only have 5 cards in my trash. Okay, Steve takes advantage of this and basically throws down a Mars. He throws down a Mars. Boom. Trashes. Knows that I don't have removal protection because he counts my trash. Okay, smart move. 5K swing, just a little teaser, right? He's just trying to pull some cards from my hand, trying to kind of like investigate, right? Boom, drop a Mars. That was probably a mistake too, to be honest with you, because I think playing the Nejiro next round is one of the bigger mistakes. Yeah, to be honest, let's go back. I don't have this in my notes, but I genuinely think, okay, we'll show later, right? We'll show this later. But I genuinely think me trashing this Mars right here instead of this Nejiro or a 2K, right? I genuinely think that having that Mars later on, it would have dramatically increased the length of this game, for sure. I'm not going to say I would have won, but I genuinely think, because look, I take the life, boom, that's fine. I could have 2K. I wanted the life because I wanted another card. I feel like I was starving for cards over here. Okay, but in this moment, I realize he has 2 swingers on the board. Okay, one of them is a blocker, but I have no established bodies, and I have no way to kind of block the 2 existing swingers if he were to decide to swing with them. So what do? I should have played Mars. I should have played Mars down, no effect, had the blocker, and then followed up with Charlos. Okay. Now, what did I do? I did like the Zoro v Mihawk first fight, running at him with just swords ablazing, okay? And I fucking just threw down the Nejiro. I said, oh, okay, what's my best move here? I don't have a way to defend myself at all. I'm literally just going to defend myself by being aggressive, and I'm not even going to try to clear the board, by the way. I could have Nejiro'd and Nejiro'd? I could have Nejiro'd the Saturn. I could have Nejiro'd the Saturn. But what did I do? I didn't Nejiro the Saturn. I Nejiro'd life. I hit him with life. He took that life. He said, I'll take that life. And then he said, my Saturn's going to swing big next time, boy. So let's just recap here. What should have happened was a little bit of foresight, okay? Let's go back. I should have not ditched this Mars. Me ditching this Mars was the start of this bad decision pool, okay? This bad decision tree. Because I didn't have a blocker to play besides Charlos after, and there was no way to block more than one swing, basically. So 7 cards in trash, and I don't have Mars in my hand. So then I go into this turn, okay? And I go into this turn, and I play the turn. We already know what happens, right? Like I play Nejiro. I played Charlos. Imagine if I swung, like this is the double misplay of it right here. Okay? The double misplay is not only did I misplay by ditching Mars, I could have saved it. Okay? I'm going to bring this back up again because I think this is important. So not only this is a misplay, okay? Because I ditched the Mars. I shouldn't have ditched the Mars so early on. I needed a blocker. I was behind. I needed a blocker. I needed to not attack, and I needed to kind of survive until Elders, okay? But I didn't. I didn't do that. I decided instead, I threw the Mars, boom. Instead, I brought out Nejiro. And then the second misplay was, instead of swinging at someone who is going to swing at me next round at life, because I do not have any blockers, there's no blockers right now, instead of swinging Nejiro at Saturn and hitting him with the minus 2k, so making him 2x more expensive to save, okay? So let's say he's going to save him, Never Existed doesn't work on characters, okay? So he's either needing to give me 2k and a 2k to save him, or a 2k and a 1k. He's giving me 3 to 4 counter, basically, if he's going to save Saturn, which I don't think he would, because I don't think that this next swing is integral, right? But I misplayed. This was terrible, and instead I swing at life, doing the Zoro thing where I'm swinging at Mihawk. He pulls out the pocket knife, and he just cuts me up, okay? Steve is Mihawk in this case, and basically I'm swinging 5k at life. I should have swung 5k at Saturn at the weakened 3k Saturn, eliminated a swing next turn, and then when I drop Charlos, after I played this Nejiro, I have one defense, I have one blocker, he has one blocker. Even if he plays a Nejiro or something that can swing, or even if he swings with the Mars, I still have one blocker plus this counter here. I can't play Never Existed because I won't have the Dawn, okay? The 2 Dawn is going to Charlos here. But I will still have 6k in counter, which is basically a Never Existed. So at the end of the day, I'll have a blocker, I'll have 6k counter for the next kind of turn, and I will still have Nejiro on the, or I will still have, if I played Mars, I would still have Mars, and if I swung correctly with Nejiro, I would still have Nejiro next turn. Or Nejiro would be a target, and he would act as a pseudo blocker. So I would have, again, just had more time. I would have definitely had more time. And I think this is one of those decisions where I look back and I go, okay, yeah, this is what made this game go so quickly. It's because these are just mistakes where if you see them on the other side of the table, it's so hard to not take advantage of them because it's just easy. You're just like, oh, this person's not playing fundamentals, right? And this is exactly what I did here. I swung at life. I should have swung directly at Saturn, didn't, and basically now we're here, right? So we'll see what happens here. So I swing life. He takes the life. Again, he's just taking the life as a resource. He knows he's in a better position, and so he's taking the life as a resource. He then has his 2 elders that get restood. That get active. And then let's see what happens. Yeah, that's such a misplay, I just want to say. And how did the 5 elders get in the trash? Hold on. How did this 5 elders get in my trash right here? Oh, you know what also happened? That's crazy. St. Charlos burned elders. Okay, yeah. That unfortunate, unlucky happens, whatever. I've only seen, that was the first elders we've seen, and we have Shirahoshi on board, so technically if we were in a better spot, we probably could have saved that, even if that was the case, but that was the first elders. Not a big deal. Now, Steve, there, I just missed it. All right, so now Steve throws down Nejiro first. Now, one would argue he should swing with Saturn, but I mean, I'm not one to talk. He won the game. Nejiro swing 5. So what do I do? Boom. He swings. Okay. So maybe that was the point. So he brought Nejiro in just so that he could weaken the Nejiro to make it more expensive for me to defend this. So he's smart. He's trying to clear my board first, clear my hitters. And he did that while also poking at life. So he poked life. He took a card from me with the Mozguard. That's -1 card. And then what he did was -2k on the Nejiro, making it 2k more expensive, right? So what do? I'm not defending Nejiro. I don't have the cards to do so. Because I have 4k counter. I could technically defend it. I think, yeah. I use the Charlos to defend it because I want to just make it hard to kill. And then boom, he's swinging with Mars. So when I see that he's swinging with Mars right here, I realize I'm like, okay, either he has a blocker coming. Hold on, let's pause this. He either has, yeah, so there's Workery. So in this moment, he's swinging with Mars. So he's very confident right now. Okay, he's in a place of position. He's in a power position, basically. All right, and then boom, I 2k out of that with Shirahoshi. And then boom, he plays the Workery. So he swung with the blocker because he knew he had the blocker to play at the end of the sequence, which is good. And then basically from there, also got to take another card from me. And I think this is, again, I should have probably taken that life because I'm really low on cards and I don't have a lot to kind of throw down for this 8 Dawn turn, this 7 Dawn, what is this, 9? Yeah, this is 9. This 9 Dawn turn right here. I have 3 cards in hand, 9 Dawn turn, okay? What am I doing? Boom, I do the Shirahoshi. Again, let's say I didn't play the Shirahoshi in the beginning. Let's say I just had it in my hand. I could have played it for 1 Dawn and then just activated it right now. Like the 1 Dawn was not going to be detrimental, right? I played it way too early. Way too early. All right, and then what do I pull? I pull the 5 Elders, and then I pull something else. I pull another Shirahoshi. I wanted the 2k. All right. Here, basically, I'm already realizing I'm cooked, boys. I'm not gonna lie, boys and girls, everyone in the audience, I'm cooked at this point. Okay. So we're swinging with 2 Dawn. We bring out Mars, no effect. Swinging with 2 Dawn at Nejiro, making that as easy as possible to block with Workery because just easy, and that's it. That's my turn right there. That was the turn, right? Then again, what do? I try to ditch the Shirahoshi again because I'm dumb, guys. I didn't learn the lesson the first time in the fucking game. It's crazy. Am I really gonna ditch something here? No, I end this turn. Okay. Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't know why I keep thinking that Shirahoshi is able to be trashed by Emu effect. Boom, what does he do? Initially starts off this swing with Nejiro. Why? 2k. Again, Steve is smart. Steve knows you start the turn with Nejiro. That's why you did it last turn too. You started with Nejiro so that you can -2k the blocker, or you can -2k something that you want to kill. Okay, and although that might have been, a different sequencing last turn, this turn Nejiro's already on the field as he's swinging. -2k makes so much sense to start with. Boom, swing with. Boom. What am I gonna do here? 5k on life. He's just poking me again. I take the life because I need the resource, okay? But that's blood in the water. He realizes, okay, he needs the resource, 1, and he doesn't have anything in his hands to kind of make that up, right? He has the 2 Dawn. He didn't have the Garp spell, or he didn't have the Never Existed. So I have 2 Dawn up right here. And so, yeah, actually, let's talk about that real quick. Just right here. So when he first swings with Nejiro, boom, I take the life, okay? I take the life. He swings with Mars. Now, the first swing with Nejiro was a 5. I take the life because I needed the card. He knows I needed the card, okay? Which means I don't have as much as I would want to use this 2 Dawn for. He knows this 2 Dawn is a bluff at this point. He sees this 2 Dawn and he goes, okay, I don't think he's got the cards in hand to kind of make that work. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Jupiter, boom, 2K. Another 5K. Okay, so he's just burning the 2Ks at this point. I don't have a 1K. He has 10 Dawn up. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to take the life. Boom. Now I have the ability to use these 2 Dawn, but I did not when I had this, so I was bluffing. But now I do have the ability to use these 2 Dawn. We got Ground Death. He's pulling out the Elder Cycle here. And let's see here. 3 cards in hand. He's thinking... He is searching with Saturn, and then he basically just clears the board just because. Boom, 7K to life, and that's when I'm using a Ground Death. Boom. No, I have more than 10 in trash. And then the worst draw possible. All right. I love me and Never Existed, guys. When my freaking hand is Never Existed in 5 Elders, I don't need another one. I'm really good off that. So we're at 10 Dawn turn. All I have is Elders. Okay? I think there's another misplay at the end of this, by the way. I'm pretty sure I use Mars's effect before I use Saturn's. It doesn't really matter, I guess, in this context, but... Nope, swing. So Elders on the board, swing with Emu, 5K. He takes the life, okay? Then... Why did I do that? That is oh my god, why did I do that? Ugh. That's terrible. I think what I thought was that I didn't have... I should have done that still. This is honestly, this is the nail that seals the coffin, guys. No lie. Chat, Unk is washed. We're washed over here. Nail that sealed the coffin. I threw the Elders down and did not activate the Elders. Even though I had the Dawn and the card to discard. Why didn't I do that? Well, what I was thinking, chat, was... I was thinking, okay. Nothing. I wasn't thinking anything. This was a brain dead move. Because even if I had this 1 Dawn right here used for this one 4K... right? It's just not enough. He has 5 7K swingers, 5 attacks, okay? If I would have done this, let's say, so we trash this, we use this, okay? We then have our blockers, right? Because we get Workery, which is a +1 card, by the way, which is a +1 card. Workery could have drawn me the card that I could have used to defend myself in the end, and I could have lasted another turn. I don't know, right? But that's the sucky part, is this was such a bad misplay that it literally, like, so bad. This is so bad. So what happened was Elders did not get rolled out. I didn't have 2 blockers, and I didn't get a swing with Nejiro. What I could have done is swung with Nejiro, minus 2K their Nejiro, okay? And then if they defended it, I could have swung with Nejiro again with Emu. With the 5K on 3K Nejiro. So it would have cost 3K minimum each. And they only have 5 cards in hand. So again, this whole game was just blunder after blunder, and I think the blunders piled up to where this was the nail in the coffin. There's a lot of earlier stuff that I would have wanted to play better, but this was the one I'm really disappointed in. I think, again, rolling out these Elders, taking at least 2 hits with these blockers, right? And then getting the card from Workery. Like, getting that card from Workery is so important because I need cards in my hand right now. So I think this is where the misplay really kind of took a turn for the worse. The game ends in like 20 to 30 seconds, I'm not going to lie. This was dog water. Massive dog water. But again, guys, we're uploading this because you can't get much worse than this, right? Right? It can't get much worse than this. All right, 7K. I think at this point, I'm a freaking fish out of water, man. I'm a freaking fish out of water, man. He just swings for 9. Steve plays it like a freaking champion right here. He knows I only got 4Ks. He knows I'm not going to be able to defend a 9K. All right? What do you mean? He's got 7 Dawns still up, dude. He's got 8 Dawns still up, dude. Come on now. Crazy work. Crazy work. All right. Well, that's the end of this game, basically. That is where it goes. Shout out to Steve. Again, a really good sport about it. He played it freaking great. Honestly, I learned a lot from this. Just again, playing this game, watching this game over once before, taking notes before this video, and then shooting this video. I learned so much in this one game. It's crazy. Especially about the mirror matchup. So, yeah, I think, again, it can't get much worse than this, right, guys? Put in the comments also if I didn't mention any other misplays and stuff. Let me know. Put them in the comments. Unk's only going to get better from here, guys. We got this, okay? Started, ripping packs. Started really getting involved in the game. Now I'm really hooked competitively. Really pay attention to it, and I'm kind of set up for an OP15 practice. Really hardcore tournament practice round. I didn't get into any of the signups for like regionals and stuff because, to be honest, guys, I'm still a freaking noob when it comes to that signup stuff. I don't know when that stuff comes out. I see it on Twitter sometimes, and then I'm already 2 hours late, and the Bandai app is still not working. So, if you have advice on how to get into those like regional events, I'll probably ask you guys later on. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you thought this was helpful. And yeah, just clown on me in the comments. Help me with some engagement. Subscribe, please. Hit the like button. And thank you guys again. Shout out to Steve. Steve, great sport. I also didn't mention in the beginning, by the way, this tournament was done by Ace Bunny and Habibi TCG, I think is the name. Yeah, they did this awesome tournament. It was an EBO3 box tournament, basically. So the winners split a box of EBO3. Super fun, super cool. And we'll definitely be doing more virtual tournaments and stuff soon. So we'll see how that goes from here. Hopefully we'll have more tournament review in the future that is wins. But again, you learn more from your losses, to be honest with you. So learned a lot from this. Again, if you learned something from this, let me know in the comments what you learned, and we can talk about it. Hit me up, follow me on socials, and I'll see you guys later.